Hey guys, it's Abram with Heir Media, and clearly I'm here filming in the same day. Why? Because one, I look good, and then two, I also just really had this idea that I wanted to kind of follow up from that Plastic Smile video. A project that is definitely, there's a lot more emotions flaring up when we were creating that project due to quite a few things going wrong with that production. But we were still able to get it done, and we finished our 2 films in 2 weekends. Before any of that, I just want to say thanks to all of the actors and actresses that are in it, like Amanda and Roxa. Make sure you go follow, like, wonderful people. They helped make this project work. And as always, thanks to the cast and crew that were on this project. It wouldn't have been here without them. So let's get started. And look at little Roxa over there. Looks the same to this day. So when we were working on Plastic Smile, there was a lot of things that we were really focused on kind of getting done for this project. However, anything that could go wrong was going wrong. Anything that wanted to go wrong definitely went wrong. Everything that we thought we had right went wrong. And there's a lot of things that went into that project. For example, we knew that this was going to be a crazy event because during the whole lead up to LIA, we were working on this project, and it was during the same time we were editing Plastic Smile for the short film contest. And you guys are probably like, wow, I checked out every submission from that year and I never saw your film there. Well, it's crazy. For Plastic Smile, everything that could go wrong went wrong in the editing process. And it's nothing on how we were editing it or anything. It just would not render in the, the last minutes. We were like, everything's done. Let's get it to render and export. So G1 was finishing that while I was running over to the university to make sure that everything else was going well. Well, that was an omen for us. Initially, we were planning to set it in a art gallery that we knew of in the area. 2 weeks out, locked down the location. A week out, did another confirmation. About 3 days before, the location guy, he reached out and he was like, oh yeah, you'll have it, don't you worry. About 2 days before, he was like, oh yeah, you only need like an hour, right? And I was like, an hour? That's not what we talked about. It's not what was agreed upon. And then we were just talking about what the whole project was again. He was like, oh, that's tough. You're gonna have to find another location because we can only offer it up to an hour. That's crazy. An hour, it was not gonna work for the project. So we were down to an hour. We were trying to figure out what exactly are we gonna do? How are we going to get this project done? What kind of things can we do to make this project actually work? And there was an easy solution. Find another location within 24 to 48 hours and let everybody know this change in location. Super easy. Everything that could go wrong was going wrong. So we were trying to make sure that we kept our heads as we were working on this project. And we actually were able to pull something off. We used one of the free locations that we could find. It's a wonderful thing called a parking lot. Everything that was the original setting, everything with the way it was originally written, everything got overhauled within the last 24 hours. Finding this parking lot, we're like, okay, so rather than her being in the art gallery and all these other things occurring, where we're gonna kind of make it more psychological and trippy in terms of its look, we decided to go with more of the realistic approach, and we used the heck out of that parking lot. And so when we got into the writing process, the whole concept behind Leah's character change, due to the way the setting was going to inform her decisions, her actions, her background, everything. So it was a little less detailed in terms of her background, the things that she was going to get done. and it just was more like raw and emotional due to the great fact that we were working with both Roxa and Amanda on this, and the two of them, wonderful. They even were bouncing ideas off with us as we were sitting there prepping the film. The guys were setting up the lights, and keep in mind, since this is outdoors, so we were trying to use whatever street lights we can. And so as you could look at it, you're like, wow.
This film is orange.
That's it. There was no other way to describe it. It was orange. So we were doing a lot of balancing. We were doing a lot of throwing up extra practical lights, everything we could to help balance out the lights, because it's not like we can just go and turn off these street lights. And as we were going through all of this, just kept sitting there. We were like, oh, this is not going to turn out as well as we were hoping. However, the good thing is when we actually showcased it, everybody was super excited. They really enjoyed the film. They really enjoyed the production quality, everything that was put into it. And honestly, I was surprised because obviously I'm working with all of these things going wrong. And at some point, you're just like,
man, I want this whole project to end.
But the thing that everybody needs to understand is when it comes to projects and things with everything going wrong, you have to believe in your project more than anybody else does. Because if the project is done before it even gets started in your mind, then it's obviously going to translate over to the viewers, and they're going to be like, yeah, obviously I don't really care about this project, because if the creators of the project don't care about it, then why should we as the viewers care about it? So that's something to think about when everything goes wrong. And believe me, in film, it will go wrong. Something's going to go wrong. Somebody doesn't show up. Somebody gets injured, God forbid. Or something just doesn't show up on time like you thought it would. Just know that when it all goes wrong, you have to be the one that says, okay, I'm going to find a solution because I still believe in this project, because I know I'm going to get it done. As long as you are like, I know the skills and talents I have, I believe in this project, and I'm going to do my best to make sure this project comes out the best that it can, then every project is able to still garner an audience. So highly recommend, if you're feeling like beaten down by whatever project you're working on, especially if it's in the editing process, just remember, I have to believe in this project more than anybody else, whether they're a client, whether they're a audience member, whether it's a family member, whatever. If you believe in that project, and you can get it done. But before we leave, you know there's this little thing I love to say. Sing it with me. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and then you share it again with all your friends. Because if you are one like, one share, one subscription, I'm sure you have at least 5 other friends that like the same thing you do. So get us in contact. I'd like to meet them.